For 438 days, one man drifted across the largest ocean on Earth in a boat that was never meant to survive a single storm. No engine, no sail, no oars, no food, and no fresh water. Just a man, a fiberglass skiff, and the open ocean. On November 17th, 2012, José Alvarenga woke up expecting a normal day. He got up early in the fishing village of Costa Azul. It's located on the Pacific coast of southern Mexico. It was supposed to be a short trip, about 30 hours at sea, one shift in and out. José was an experienced fisherman. He'd grown up around the ocean and had spent most of his life working on the water. Fishing wasn't optional. It was how he survived. His usual fishing partner couldn't make it that day, so José took a replacement deckhand, a 24-year-old man named José and Córdoba. They had never spoken before. José didn't even know his last name when they left shore. They pushed off anyway. The boat was small, a 7-meter, 23-foot fiberglass skiff. No roof, no sails, no oars, just a single outboard motor. It sat very low in the water and was painted in colors that blended into the sea. There was a large icebox for fish, some fuel, basic fishing gear, a two-way radio, and food meant to last one day. Nothing about the boat was designed for survival. Shortly after leaving shore, the weather turned violent. A storm rolled in fast. Wind, heavy rain, large waves. The storm didn't pass in a few hours. It lasted 5 days. During that time, the boat was blown far off course and the motor was damaged. Electronics were ruined and fishing gear was lost. Before the radio died completely, José managed to call his boss and ask for help. Then the battery went dead. During the storm, the men caught over 1,100 pounds of fresh fish. But the boat was too heavy to handle in the waves, and to stay afloat, they were forced to dump it all overboard. When the storm finally cleared, the engine no longer worked. They had no sails, no oars, no anchor, no lights, and no way to call anyone. They began drifting. A search party was organized, but visibility was terrible. After 2 days, the search was called off. No one found a trace of anything. Days turned into weeks, and survival became a constant struggle. They caught fish with their hands. They ate jellyfish and caught sea turtles to drink their blood when there was no fresh water. When rain fell, they collected it. When it didn't, they drank their own urine. José dreamed constantly about food and about the meals he remembered, about his parents, and about home. Mentally, the situation deteriorated fast. After about 4 months, Córdoba began to lose hope. He got sick from eating raw food and eventually stopped eating altogether. He refused food and slowly starved. Before he passed, Córdoba made José promise not to eat his body, and José kept his promise. After Córdoba passed, José kept the body on the boat. He talked to it, slept next to it, and after 6 days, terrified that he was losing his mind, he pushed it into the ocean. For months, he kept drifting. He tracked time by counting the phases of the moon. Ships passed, massive container ships crossing the Pacific. He waved and screamed. One ship even seemed to notice him, and they sailed straight past. The boat was nearly invisible on the open ocean. At some point, José found a floating oil drum and pulled it aboard. That drum changed everything. It allowed him to store rainwater properly, and for the first time, he had a reliable supply of drinking water. To stay sane, he stayed busy. He did push-ups, made a hat from whatever materials he could salvage. He talked to the sea, letting his imagination run wild just to pass time. At one point, a bird landed on the boat and stayed with him for a while. He treated it like a companion. Eventually, though, hunger won. He killed and ate the bird. As the boat drifted into deeper water, food became harder to find. Turtles disappeared, fish were scarce, so he ate fish bones, beard hairs, and even shavings of wood. He jumped into the ocean to scrape barnacles off the hull just to have something to chew. After counting his 15th lunar cycle, he saw land, a small, desolate island. On January 30th, 2014, 438 days after he left Mexico, José abandoned the boat and swam to shore. The island was part of the Marshall Islands. When he got to shore, he collapsed. A local couple living in a small beach house found him. They didn't speak his language, and he didn't speak theirs, but they fed him, clothed him, and sheltered him. Word spread quickly. When authorities arrived, they didn't believe his story. No one survives over a year at sea, not like that.
I would expect somebody to be in worse shape. If what he is saying is true, he's one of the best survivalists around.
In Salvador's airport, it's believed that Alvarenga drifted in a small boat from Mexico to the Marshall Islands, surviving on raw fish, turtles, and bird blood.
He was interrogated, questioned repeatedly. Journalists swarmed him, doctors examined him. His blood pressure was dangerously low, and he was anemic. His ankles were swollen and struggled to walk. Doctors suspected parasites from eating raw meat. Oceanographers studied currents and confirmed it was possible. Researchers modeled the drift and found it would end near where José landed. Officials confirmed a fishing boat had gone missing November 17th, 2012, and slowly the story checked out. But not everyone agreed.
This is the other side of the story. Remember, he was not alone. He was traveling with another fisherman, a 23-year-old by the name of José and Córdoba, who died, he says, only 4 weeks into the drift. Now, the family in Mexico is saying, we want to talk to Alvarenga because we want some answers here. We just learned that our son has died, and we just don't know how he died. And as you can imagine, his parents are very distraught. All this time, they were wondering if he was alive, and they were hopeful that he would be alive, but they just learned last week that he is indeed dead. So a very sad family in Mexico as well.
After 11 days in the hospital, José was cleared to return home. His family had already had a funeral. They thought he was dead. He reunited with his daughter and with parents who had prayed for him while he was gone. He returned to El Salvador and fulfilled his promise, visiting Córdoba's family to tell him what happened. For a time, José was famous. Interviews, headlines, a book was written about his ordeal called 438 Days. Today, he no longer fishes. He lives quietly. He struggles with sleep. He fears the water, but he is alive. The ocean that once defined his life is now something he keeps his distance from. He avoids boats. He avoids the shoreline. Not because he hates it, because it reminds him of what almost took everything from him. He still thinks about Córdoba and the promise they made, about the days that blurred together and the ones that almost broke him. But he also thinks about what carried him through. Small routines, small choices, the decision to wake up, to eat, to drink, to keep moving. After 438 days lost at sea, survival wasn't about strength. It wasn't about courage. It wasn't even about hope. It was about refusing to give up, one day at a time.